Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CFC Blues podcast. We're here doing another Liverpool review, another episode, another live episode. As usual, we are joined by the man in the bottom right there, Mr. Yusuf Batouche. How you doing, Yusuf?
I'm doing good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, mate, I'm decent. Hang on a minute. There we go. Sorry, TV was going to turn off. And as you can see, we've got two very, very amazing guests on from the 1892Reds Podcast. We've got Luke. How you doing, Luke?
Well, good, George, mate. Thanks for letting me come onto your show.
No problem, mate. And we, of course, have got Ricky. How are you doing, Rick?
Yeah, not bad. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, guys. No problem. I'm just going to quickly... There we go. Okay, so obviously, me and Yusuf were on the 1892Reds podcast yesterday. So if you haven't seen that, you can still go and see it and watch it from the beginning to the end. Like, after this one, obviously, don't do it now because you can't watch this. But, Yusuf, what have we got in store for today?
We got the preview of the Liverpool Chelsea game tomorrow. What time is it again? The game
8:15.
Yeah, that's the time for the kickoff. So yeah, let's do it today. Let's talk about today.
So in yesterday's episode with Luke and Ricky on their channel, we spoke about range of different topics. Really, we did Reece James versus Trent. We did Kovacic versus Wijnaldum, score predictions, and we just spoke about both teams in general. We're going to do some things a little bit differently today. But first things first, I'll come to Ricky first. Where do you see, or how do you think the game's going to play out? Do you think one team's going to dominate, or do you think it will be quite an even game?
I think Liverpool dominate possession. With the team news, I see Klopp with his press conference earlier, who we've got coming back. I am slightly more confident now with the result, who we've got coming back with Ali in goal. Fabinho's back and Yotta's as well as back. I just think we're going to dominate possession, keep the ball. Chelsea are going to try and hit us on the break, and I think we'll punish them because of that. I do think we will win very comfortably.
Yeah. Obviously, I think definitely you guys will dominate the possession, and we'll hit you on the break. You'll punish it, but whether it will be a comfortable win, it's a different story. What happens, and So Luke, I'll ask you next. Obviously, Rick mentioned dominating the possession. Do you think that will happen? Do you think it will be different?
No, I think going to Anfield, any team that goes to Anfield, apart from probably City, they're sort of the only teams that could really sort of take more of the ball than Liverpool. I do think, especially with Thiago in the team, he's always going to dictate the play in midfield. Chelsea, in my opinion, will set up one way, and they used to go counter-attack, maybe a bit long ball for Werner, because if we've got, the lack of pace at the back with Phillips, if he starts, Kabak, for example, Chelsea probably will go that dimension. But it's going to be an interesting game because obviously the last 4 or 5 home games for Liverpool, obviously we've not picked up great results. Obviously I've just seen Brefford in the chat. How we doing, mate? Getting that Liverpool sort of vibes going. But yeah, I just think I just generally think Chelsea away from home is going to set up one way to beat us. But as Ricky said, and I agree, I'm very comfortable and confident going to this game with the announcements of the squad coming back together a bit, really.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, before I ask you, Yusuf, we'll go through some of the comments. The Football Talk saying, won't be able to make it for the stream, but have a good one, lads. Cheers, mate. You're probably not here, but thanking you. Race 2 saying, hello, mate. Race 2 is actually a big Sunderland fan, so got some a variety. Luke's best friend. Good vibes.
I don't want to hear no Wan-Bissaka's better than Trent, please. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
like I said, go out yesterday's episode on their channel. It was really good. It was really, really good. Brefford John, the absolute legend. Love this guy, even though he's a Liverpool fan. He's amazing. Greetings to you, good people. Hope you well. up the Reds. Let's change that to the Blues. And race 2 saying Liverpool have not been the best this season. Well, you think that's accurate?
Yeah, 100%. We ain't been what we was. I think a lot of people are looking at Liverpool for the past 2 seasons where we've been the best team in the country by a mile, best team in Europe by a mile. A lot of injuries play a part this season why we ain't been at our fluent best. But we're still in the top 4 race. I think we're not even that far off top 4, to be fair. And I looked at, I think we're 6 points behind Man United as well, who are second. So it ain't. City just have run away with it like we did last season. So I think if you take away them and compare us to the rest of everyone else, pretty much the same. And we ain't got our best players playing. So it does say a lot about the rest of the teams in the league, to be fair to where we are.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Yusuf, I'm going to ask you now.
Yep.
What do you think about the game? Obviously, Luke and Ricky think they're going to dominate the possession and they'll punish the counter-attacks. If you were Thomas Tuchel, what kind of style would you approach this game with?
Probably the counter-attack. The counter-attack was, as they said, Liverpool. They're gonna have most of the possession, so we need to be very, very cautious with our passes and crosses and stuff. So I think if we want to score, we should put pace up front because the in the Man United game it didn't work at all. We had a very slow attack with obviously Giroud can't run at all. He's very slow. So for my lineup prediction, I put Havertz as a false 9. Because I think offers a bit more pace, and then Werner on the left, and then Mountain on the right.
Hang on, we haven't done the lineups yet.
Yeah, I'm just saying
So we'll do that afterwards.
Oh,
yeah, we'll do that afterwards. But yeah, definitely. Brett John saying definitely Liverpool will have a lot of possession, and Chelsea want to have a counter attack. Yeah, Rick said yesterday. That Chelsea, we definitely should play Timo Werner in this game. I don't know how well he'll get him behind, but if he gets him behind, then that's what we want him to do in these games. Got to hit on the counter. EY official in all caps, Liverpool gonna lose, and then 2-0 Chelsea. So remember, guys, get your score predictions, your team predictions, and your goal scorer predictions in the comments. Liverpool team or Chelsea team predictions, whichever you prefer. And then, here we go. Anthony Metzer, hello, Leipzig fan, but football fanatic. Yeah, I remember you. I'm just seeing that. Okay.
I'm not saying the name.
Anthony Metzer, I remember you on and Ricky's podcast yesterday, and I think you've been in the chat for a while. I'm not going to put that up on the screen. But race
someone
2,
someone must like me.
Gets carried by Virgil van Dijk. He hasn't been around this season.
Don't see how we get carried by Virgil van Dijk when we've won the Champions League and the Premier League, the 2 hardest competitions in world football. To say a centre-back carries your whole team when you've got the likes of Salah, who's at the minute smashing records for fun.
Liverpool's worst season, Rick, in a long time, and Mo Salah's still the top goal scorer in the Premier League. I mean, it goes to show that, we're being slightly carried by one defensive player. And as you mentioned earlier, with Man City running away with the Premier League, I mean, Chelsea, they've had some good form under their new manager. Of course they have. But you can't basically say that, that everyone's better than Liverpool right now. To see the level with the Premier League right now with Liverpool's injury is awful. And honestly, George, what is going on with people in their comments, mate? What is going on?
I
Do you know what it is as well, though? Like, we're having not a terrible season because we're still in the Champions League and we're still fighting for top four. But when the likes of Man United are having their best season in a few years and they're still only 6 points clear of Liverpool with all the injuries, Chelsea spending over 200 million in the summer and they're only 3 points in front of Liverpool. It's just madness. I have been disappointed this season in Liverpool, to be fair, but when you put it in perspective like that, you can't be that disheartened because of what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. So before we do our lineup predictions, for me, if I was Thomas Tuchel, I'd go for pace, as you'll see in my lineup prediction in a little bit. And I just want to Luke sent me this this morning. The last 5 Premier League games at Anfield. Now, we was going to talk about this yesterday in your episode, but it did drag on a little bit, so we cut it there and we said we'd do it today. So, Luke, you've still got that on you, haven't you?
It's in my head, mate. Don't worry about it. I'm quite good with my encyclopedia of results.
Russ?
So, obviously, yeah, what was it? Liverpool in the last 5 Premier League meetings at Anfield. The last 2, Liverpool have won 5-3 when we lifted the title with that great goal from Keita.
That's not right.
And then and the 2-0 with that ex-Chelsea reject with that wonderful strike from 30 yards with Mo Salah.
I don't understand what we saw.
Listen, we won't talk about Mourinho signings. We'd love to. We'll be here all day. But we've got, and then the other 3 games were all 1-1 draws, I think, in the Premier League. And obviously your last win at Anfield in the Prem was in November 2014. So, I mean, obviously in the Premier League, it's, Chelsea have got a decent record in the last 15 years at Anfield in all competitions. Of course they have. You look back in the Champions League, ties from 2005 onwards, like Liverpool-Chelsea's always been a massive rivalry. But there's something at the moment with these 2 teams where, yes, we've got injuries this season, but Chelsea haven't really been able to get the best of Liverpool in the last few seasons. So whenever we play Chelsea, right at the moment, I'm always confident we can get the result and the 3 points.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, definitely the last 5 games have definitely been at Anfield. Have definitely been well in your favour. Because the last 5 games we haven't won. So Yusuf, I think it's time where we kick off with our lineup prediction. So we'll get up here. And would you like to forecast?
Let me try to zoom it in. Give me a second.
There we go. If you just scroll down.
That doesn't work.
Yusuf playing 3 at the back.
Yeah, mate.
Oh, you're brave.
Oh. We shouldn't change it, to be fair. We should just keep it the same against Liverpool because it's a big game. So,
you're killing us Piliqueta there, mate.
That's going to be running about all game after Salah and Mane, mate.
I'm saying tomorrow on loan. So,
right,
you know what? No. You got a point. Zuma's going in.
Like, it's your team, mate. Don't worry about it.
Hey. You got a point. He's too slow.
Salah, top scorer. Yeah, he loves scoring bangers against Chelsea. Don't remind me, Griffin. Don't remind me. Wouldn't surprise me if he scores again tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me if he scores again tomorrow.
You might as well.
Griffin, I would like you to put your team or your lineup prediction for Liverpool, since you are a Liverpool fan, and you're scoring your scorers. And then Anthony Metzer saying, I think it's all to play for here for all teams. Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
It'll be a very close game, but
let us know.
Let's see who wins tomorrow.
That'll be interesting to find out. Right, Yusuf. Oh, hang on.
All right.
Hang on.
Oh.
Just before we get into it, a question: would a draw tomorrow be a good result for both teams? After all, if LFC wins, we go above Chelsea. If Chelsea wins, then 4 points ahead of LFC. So a good draw for all. UCL uptaking. Luke, what do you think about that?
I think it's a better result for Chelsea, to be honest, a draw. going away from home. I know Liverpool have not been in the best of form at home recently, of course not. But as I mentioned before, like Chelsea go away from home and get a result against one of the big six. Like it's a better result for the away team, surely. For Liverpool in recent weeks, we've got a win against Sheffield United, which give us a bit more confidence. We've got players coming back from injury, which is great for us. And you know what? Even on top of that, like just apart from the game itself, seeing Jurgen Klopp today coming out with the players coming back, but also mentioning about he's not allowing any players in an international break to go out. If you're in the red list countries, if you're playing internationally, they're not allowing them to go. So for me, that sort of shows that he's not given up on this season regarding top four. He knows we're in that race to get that. It'd be such a shame if these players disregarded that sort of request what Klopp's done. So we need to win more than you, I think. And yeah, like I think just going from the last game, I'm very confident that we are obviously going to go and get the 3 points from this game.
Yeah, fair enough. Can't say that. Yeah, if you as the away team, I would take a draw from this game, 100%. I would not be disappointed with that. I'd still say we're firm. I wouldn't say firm underdogs, but we are the underdogs in this game. So, Rick, do you think a draw would be better for Liverpool or Chelsea? Or
a draw's not good enough for Liverpool. We need to win this game. So I think we've got Chelsea and we've got Wolves and Arsenal coming up. So we need a big 3 points at home against Chelsea to move on to the next game. I think Liverpool will look at it as most games coming up now are like cup finals. If we want top four. But I've read reports today that Haaland's come out and said there's six Premier League six teams in football that are on his list. He's ruled Chelsea out. I think he's gone for Liverpool, United, City, the three Premier League teams, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and there's one other team I can't remember.
Probably Bayern or PSG.
Yeah, it might be PSG. But yeah, he ruled Chelsea out due to footballing reasons. If Liverpool are serious about winning the title again next season, we do need to invest. And I read another report saying that if Mbappe leaves PSG, his preference in the Premier League is Liverpool to play under Jurgen Klopp, which is massive if we are generally interested and want to strike a deal for him. I think that gives Liverpool a little bit of the upper hand when it comes to negotiations with PSG. If Mbappe has told people around him that Liverpool is his preference in the Premier League, because then there's no sort of bidding power from PSG if he's got his heart set on the moves to Liverpool under Klopp. But we'll have to see. To get who we want in the summer, we do need top four, so we need to treat every game like a final and go from there.
Yeah, fair enough. I completely see where you're coming from. Just question I've got for you though is, do you think you have the money for Mbappe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we see that the thing come out a week ago that obviously there's been a 10% sell of the investment which John Henry has at Liverpool. Of course, like in the summer, if we do get top four, that is definitely going to help. And you've seen like Liverpool have come out and said that top four, of course, is a must for big signings in the summer, and they've already said that we didn't spend not a lot of money in January because we're waiting on the summer. And I think it's now down to Liverpool getting in that top four, or even obviously it's going to be very, very difficult. I don't think it will happen, but if they won the Champions League this season, get into that Champions League next season. And yeah, I genuinely think Liverpool are going to go all out on a centre forward in the summer because it's needed. Like we've had this debate, George, about is Firmino good enough to run the line at Liverpool, the number 9. We talk about Chelsea problems over the years with, when Drogba left, you've had the likes of Morata, Higuain, Falcao, the list goes on. Torres even, it didn't work out for you then. So yeah, like we desperately need a centre forward in the summer to score minimum 20 goals a season in the league.
I think we change formation next season. I think we change formation next season, and I think you're going to start to see it once this season becomes more clear with positions. I think we do switch it up to an attacking midfielder behind the striker and Salah and Mane. I think that's the way Klopp's going to go next season. That's what Thiago was brought in for.
Fair enough. Yeah, I see where both of you are coming from there. Me and Luke have had the conversation about Chelsea number 9s for ages now. I'm just hoping that Werner at the moment, obviously, he's having an all right season. He's not been a massive flop, I'd say. Obviously, his finishing's been abysmal. That's one thing for sure. But he's been involved in over 21 goals. He's got over 21 goal involvements this season. So, I mean, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. But Yusuf, sorry for delaying it, but we'll get to your lineup predictions. Right, let's hear it.
All right. For the formation, it's the 3-4-3-2-1. I think we should stay the same and not change it because we're unbeaten with it, so we should probably stick with it. All right. So in goal, Mendy. No questions asked. Not Kepa, obviously. For the three centre backs, Rudiger, Christensen, and Zuma. I think Christensen's been solid so far. Since Silva's been injured against Spurs, I think he's been really good in the defence. Both has Rudiger and Zuma. I think Zuma should play because I think he's quicker than Aspilicueta because you've got Salah and Mane and stuff. They're really pacey. So and Aspilicueta, he's not getting any faster or younger, so you should probably bench him for this one. For the wing backs, Chilwell and James. I put Chilwell for pace, obviously because you got Trent and Salah on the right side.
Yeah.
So and then James is mostly for the defensive cover and awareness because Hudson-Odoi, because he's not really a wing back, he's more a winger. So I'll put James there. For the two midfield, Kante and Kovacic, I think they'll do a very good job. They've done a good job against Man United as well, so I'll put them in there again. And on the right, Mount, because I think Mount's been our best player this season. He's been really consistent, scoring goals as well. And then on the left, Werner, obviously because of the pace, because we need pace up top because without Werner we're too slow up top. And up front, I put Havertz as a false 9 because he played that at Leverkusen and he's done well there, so I put him up there. Anyway, that's my lineup.
So I just want to talk about Havertz at false 9. Do you think he hasn't played much football recently? Do you really think he's got the match sharpness, the match fitness to start against Liverpool of all opponents?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not start, but I was starting, but he got a point as in like he's not really match fit because he's been injured for the past few games. So
yeah.
Well, if anything, I'll put so if he doesn't start, I'll put Werner up front, and then on the left I put Hudson-Odoi. I'll put him on the left. That's what I'll do.
So I don't think he'll be starting.
But what is Ziyech then?
To be fair, I think other than Havertz, I think that's a starting 11. Mine's a bit different, so I'm gonna remove stream. Luke, if you could share yours, mine's not loading up. So if we'll do yours, then we'll do mine. Just got some comments. Breffen John, why is Chelsea being considered as underdogs? You are coming from beating Atletico Madrid in the league. You have been good and immense. No defeat whatsoever yet. LFC no win at home and poor results. Now, the reason I say we're underdogs, you've got a better team than us, I'd say. Man for man, you've got a better squad than us. Secondly, it's one of the most Chelsea things for Liverpool to go on a 69-game beaten run at Anfield, then lose 4 games. 68. Losing 4 games in a row at Anfield, and it would be the biggest Chelsea thing to then go and lose at Anfield after teams like Brighton and Burnley.
Yeah, it's Charity FC, mate. Don't worry. We've helped Arsenal as well. Remember when they lost so many games? They've been beat us 3-1. I don't understand now. But
yeah,
cool.
Well, I think man for man, Liverpool have a better squad than Chelsea, so that's the main reason. Another one from Bref and John, I think to you, Rick. To be honest, I don't believe LFC will go for Mbappe or Haaland. We all know our owners, FSG, who are very stingy. Before we buy marquee players, we sell our top players like Coutinho, Torres, and Suarez. What do you think about that?
So from what I understand, with the people that are taking 10%, I read something today that they can put forward suggestions who they'd want to buy. The deal ain't going to affect Liverpool in no shape or form in regards to it. You're still going to have the same people in charge of Liverpool Football Club. So Werner will be the chairman still. Henry will still be in charge of them. No one's changing from Liverpool's boardroom. All these guys are there just to pump investment in. I think Liverpool have looked for investment. Liverpool have been looking for investment for the last 3 to 4 years from outside. This money is going to allow Liverpool to go ahead with plans to build the stand. And from what I understand, LeBron James is going to play a massive part in this new investment deal because he owns a percent of Liverpool through working with FSG. LeBron James is going to be heavily involved in the Nike deal next season. With there's going to be a Liverpool LeBron cross chain in merchandise next season, so you're going to get Liverpool LeBron James stuff next season, and that's why New Balance couldn't offer anything in the court battle against Nike because of LeBron James. LeBron James is very close to Mbappe at Nike. You're going to see a lot of. There's been conversation. I'm not saying we're going to go get Mbappe or Haaland, but there's been a lot of Mbappe talk with Liverpool for the last 2 seasons, and we haven't spent no money really over the last couple summers. I think Liverpool do have money. They're just very well run. But the owners have come under fire this season for not backing Klopp. So I really do think they're going to show a statement of intent in the summer and get Klopp who he wants. And Mbappe is on that list.
Just adding to that, Rick, like winning the Champions League a couple of seasons ago, and your 2 major signings are Adrian and Sepp van den Berg. Like, you know, that's the reason why. Well, we won the Premier League the following season, yeah, and we obviously only spent 75 million on both Jota and Thiago. Like in the past, you know, it'll be in October. It'll be 6 years. Yep. Jurgen Klopp's had a net spend of only around 200 million in 6 years. So you work it out, like that's 35 million a season.
Mate, we're getting rid of some shit in the summer as well.
Yeah, like he's definitely getting rid of like dead weight, the likes of Ox, Origi, Shaqiri. You know, you're going to be bringing in at least 75, 80 million for those 3 players. So that funds will definitely go towards a big signing in the summer, and that's why I think Liverpool will go forward to doing something like that.
Yep. I was going to ask you, Luke, what you thought, but there we go. I've got a comment from Suprit. I'm not going to pronounce your second name in case, you know. Hi, guys. Hello, mate. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Bref and John, seen a lot of Chelsea formation, which has been 3-4-2-1, but it wouldn't surprise me if Tuchel sets it up as a 3-5-2, sorry, with your wingers being James and Alonso, and 3 mids, Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho. Just guessing. Well, who knows? But speaking of lineups, Luke, we're going to get yours up. Luke and Ricky went for the same, so both of them will talk through it. So Luke, we'll start with you. What have you gone with?
Yeah, so obviously seeing that Alisson was back in training, and Klopp said that, you know, he will probably be starting Thursday. It wouldn't surprise me that Alisson will be back in goal. The back 4, obviously Fabinho back in training. I think Fabinho will more than likely play at centre back on Thursday, just because it's obviously a big 6 side. I think you need that experience at the back. So I think Fabinho, he's been rock solid at the back this season. I personally think, as much as probably Rick wouldn't like this either, I personally think it's going to be Kabak alongside Fabinho. As much as I would like Nat Phillips to play there, but I think it will be Kabak. Obviously, the fullbacks, Andy Robertson at left back and Alexander-Arnold at right back, getting all those assists, keep going, Trent. The midfield three, we've got Thiago, hopefully he plays in a more advanced midfield role, as you can see. Probably standing captain again will be Gini. He had a good game against Sheffield United. Rick's obviously not a great fan of him, but of course, he's obviously been pretty good over the last couple of games anyway. And Curtis Jones, I'm hoping and pretty sure he'll keep his place in midfield, pushing forward to help out the front three, which are obviously Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, and Roberto Firmino.
Yep. I mean, strong team, very, very strong team. Even with all of your injuries going on, that's a really, really strong team. Rick, do you think Alisson will start, considering what's happened recently?
Yeah, 100%. 100% he'll be back in goal.
Yeah, because I remember, obviously Adrian played and he was doing some kick-ups, wasn't he, during the game, which I thought was quite funny. And the commentator actually called him Alisson.
About 4 or 5 times.
Which was funny. Yeah, which is a little bit disrespectful in a sense. Just seen something. CFC Blues podcast fan page. I mean, I've never seen this before, but
got a fan page already.
I guess. Hi lads. Yusuf, big fan, bro. Do you think Liverpool need to sell one of the front three in the summer? Luke, Rick, what do you think?
One of the front three will be going in the summer. The front three need to freshen up. I do think one of them goes. It depends what sort of money gets offered in the summer for who goes or not. But one of them I do think will go this summer.
Who do you think it will be, Luke? Yeah, I mean, me and Rick spoke a few weeks ago about who it would be. I'm very happy with what he's done at the club. I mean, ideally, we'd like it to be Firmino, but of course, we don't live in that fantasy where we know that the most profitable player out the three is, of course, Mo Salah. If Mo leaves, then I expect Liverpool to go out and try to sign a player like a Haaland or an Mbappe as a replacement. I'll see another comment. There is rumours about Rafinha from Leeds. Obviously, more links about Jadon Sancho as well. But I generally think that if it's out of the three, I think it'll be Salah.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. Obviously, then they go on to say to fund a player like Mbappe or Haaland.
But we could fund at least between 150 to 200 million for Mo Salah easily. Like, he's 28. He's been one of the top goal scorers in the Premier League over the last 3-4 seasons. He's won the Prem. He's won the Champions League. He's one of the best players, in my opinion, to actually play in the Premier League for the amount of time he's been at Liverpool. And we would surely be able to put a hefty price tag on him from a club like a PSG, Barcelona, etc.
Yeah, fair enough. Anthony Metzer coming in with LFC should first cement their top four and maybe then can start talking about Mbappe. LFC should be serious, as they need to be like City. No Aguero, you see Jesus. No Sterling, you see Torres. Now,
Jesus ain't no good.
The Manchester.
Yeah, I agree. If their second top goal scorer this season is Phil Foden, it goes to show that the likes of Jesus isn't needed. Like, Sterling's been brilliant. And I mean, we sold him for 50 million. That's how good Sterling, how good we done on a profit. But yes, we do have a lot of problems in our backup regard. Like, we ain't got a good enough backup centre forward. We ain't got good enough backup sort of midfielders to cover in when we've got injuries and defenders, etc. But, when Man City have got oil money and they spend over 500 million on fullbacks, and Jurgen Klopp ain't even spend that amount on his squad. I mean, when you've got that luxury, you can do that.
Yeah, fair enough. I was going to say, you've seen Manchester City's bench; they've got that squad depth. And if you look at other teams' bench, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, they're not going to be as strong as that. So, I think maybe like to buy if you're going to buy a player for the bench, I think you need to make it a player like a younger player that's up and coming, has got good potential, can work his way into the squad, or a player sort of coming into retirement sort of stages, if you know what I mean. Just a few. Suprit comment. Why are you not going to pronounce my second name, bro? Because I don't want to offend you. That's the reason. A few from CFC Blues podcast fan page. Liverpool are interested in signing Rafinha from Leeds. He's class. What do you boys, Rick? What do you think about that?
No, he's a good player, but he's had a good one season. I'd like to see him stay at Leeds for another season, develop a bit more, and be more consistent than Liverpool just jumping at a player that's had one good season, because we've seen teams do it in the past and then the player turns out to not be that good. So yeah, I'd like him to stay at Leeds and go another season there.
Yeah, definitely.
What shampoo do I use? What kind of shampoo do I use?
Do you know what? I just see that.
Oh, shampoo.
Sorry, mate. I mean, personally, in the summer, I'd go. Personally, in the summer, Yusuf, I think you should go for Head and Shoulders. I think that's a kind of
Head and Shoulders shampoo. Yeah.
I mean, Rick knows from experience what shampoo to use as well.
You get sponsored the channel.
To be honest, I think I agree with Ricky on that. I think the Rafinha one, again, he's had a good season at Leeds, of course. Like they've done all right this year, but you've seen. I mean, you could probably use the argument, Diego Jota is like from Wolves, like it's sort of similar level, but we've been scouting Jota for 2 to 3 years, and since he's come into the fold in the Premier League for Wolves last season, the season before, he's been, apart from him, one of their main men. So, it's one of them again. Like if Liverpool are seriously interested in a player like Rafinha, surely he has to just keep playing his football for another year or so, and then a big club will definitely come calling for him. If it's not Liverpool, could be anyone like a Chelsea, United, etc.
It could be a Chelsea for sure. I'm not sure if he's sort of. I haven't really watched him that much this season, personally, but I think he's a good player at the level for Leeds, and I think he could make that step up maybe to like an Everton or someone like that. Or maybe even an Aston Villa. Aston Villa will be a big step up for him. Seeing as, I don't know, Grealish might leave, he might not. But
Fulham would be a step up, Jules, surely, from Leeds, right?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think Bobby should play as a cam. If not, and then I love Bobby, but he's way past his prime. I think you guys mentioned this before, maybe moving Bobby to a cam. Is a better idea. Hang on. If you read the third word of this sentence,
it's not me, mate.
No
That's not me.
PSC Blues podcast fan page. I'm not even gonna read it. Breffin John, thank you, Luke, for being realistic. I have seen this movie over and over again. LFC will sell Salah and buy a top player till FSG can put their money or their mouse where their money lies. I will believe in Mbappe. The belief is there from Breffin. The belief is there. I like it. Even though I'm not a Liverpool fan, I like the belief. Race 2, Sunderland. What do you mean Sunderland? You want us to talk about Sunderland?
They're a massive club, George, aren't they?
They get cheesy chips for £1, mate.
Get cheesy chips for £1.
A question for me. How true are the rumours that Tuchel will be given a big transfer kitty, and also if you're being linked with Haaland and a centre-back? Haaland is not going to be, as Rick mentioned earlier, Haaland has already said he doesn't want to come to Chelsea because of the football. Will he get a big transfer kitty? Probably. It's Roman Abramovich. Chelsea over the years, like last season, Lampard spent over 200 million. If Tuchel wants that kind of money to buy more players, Abramovich is more than likely going to give it to him. I think maybe a centre-back is needed for sure. I know us, Man United and City have all been linked with Varane for some reason. I don't know where that's come from. We've also been linked with Jadon Sancho, which I don't think is going to happen. And overall, it all depends on who Tuchel wants. If Tuchel wants to bring in, God knows, if Tuchel wanted to bring in Verratti from PSG, he'll probably get Verratti. Who knows? You just don't know. Okay. Thoughts on Robert Faddel's transfer? No. Robert is a good friend of mine and Yusuf's. So I can almost see who's made the accounts. Maybe he might go for 85 million. You never know. Anthony Metzer, Chelsea 2, Liverpool 2. Fair. I can see the game going anyway. Either way. So, and then £1 equals great price for cheese.
You get a free season ticket with an Happy Meal, don't you, over in Sunderland as well?
You get your hot.
Listen, I'm pretty sure you've heard this song. Obviously, George has, but if you haven't heard it, have a look at the Newcastle fans singing about Sunderland. It is hilarious, and the chants in there. We won't repeat them because we don't want to spoil it. But George, honestly, mate, tell him to get on it.
One of the greatest things ever. Yusuf, that's you, right?
Who?
Pringles.
No, it's not me.
It is you. I know it's you. I've still got to do my prediction. So we'll do that really quickly and then we will end it. Race 2 has heard it. So that's good.
Nice one.
John, thank you, lads. Awesome for loving the game. I guess in your off reference, we'll see you in the comments of the next stream for the 1892Reds podcast. Thank you for coming along, absolute legend. Right, here we go. We go here. We can see my lineup prediction.
Can you guys see it back again?
No, I mean,
we haven't lost undefeated, is it? So that's
we should change it right now.
So Mendy in goal. Mendy in goal, obviously. Same back three as always. I know, Yusuf, you changed Azpilicueta to Zuma, but I think Azpilicueta is... Luke, get off your phone. I can see you there. Get off your phone.
Hey, I'm just looking at you three at the back. Like, I'm just literally, it's just, I don't know, mate.
No,
Not really. All the best to you.
Remember, I'm not choosing this squad as sort of I'm the manager. I'm choosing this squad as this is what I think Tuchel's going to go with. And this is the player in this sort of style. These are the players I go with for this game. Back three of the same that we've been going with: Rudiger, Christensen, Azpilicueta. Like Yusuf said earlier, Chilwell at left wing back for the pace mainly. So like we said in your yesterday, got outpaced by Bednarek. And then Reece James at right wing back. Hudson-Odoi is injured, so I don't think he's going to play. So Reece James will slot in there quite nicely. And I'm just seeing something. The football talk is here. Hello, mate. We're nearly finished, but if you could get your score predictions and your team predictions in the comments, that would be great. Midfield 2 of Luke's favourite player, Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante. And then a front three of Werner, Mount and Giroud. I still don't understand why you've gone with Havertz, Yusuf.
No,
I don't get it. I really...
Because we need to place it up front. Because I think Liverpool might place it back maybe. I need a bit. And who else? I think
Giroud outpaces Kabak, mate. You don't have to worry about that.
I think you should choose Giroud to bully him a little bit. Giroud's got lots of experience in all these big games. He always shows up for the big games. And
but he can't play every game though. He's
you can't play him every game.
Right, Yusuf, James Milner played 3 intense games in the space of 10 days. And he's the age of what, 36?
My,
Like I know what you mean about the
Thiago
age thing. I
Silva.
know look at Thiago Silva. Like he's a captain. He's what 35, 36. Like there's
yeah,
no. It's like don't.
Ibrahimovic.
Yep. There's obviously COVID seasons where everyone does struggle a lot. You know, like with the intensity of the games coming thick and fast. But you're a professional footballer. You can't tell me that you can't play football 2-3 games a week. Like I know you're going to get injuries because you're a lot older, but if the likes of James Milner can do it, if Thiago Silva can do it, I'm pretty sure Giroud can do it as well. And Giroud always, Giroud always loves playing against Liverpool. He scores a lot of goals against us, so you know I expect Giroud to start in the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I definitely do. If he doesn't, then I don't know. So yeah. Giroud's going to bully Kabak. He's got lots of experience over him. Well, I hope that's what he's going to do. And he's going to hold the ball up for Mount and Werner. And yeah. Football talk. Hang on. Here we go. All right. So that's my lineup. We shall stop. Luke, you can stop your screen share, by the way, if you want to. Sticking by what I said yesterday, 2-1 to Chelsea. Let us know who you think is going to score. CFC saying, no, I reckon Havertz, Werner, Pulisic. Nah. And the fact you said Mounts get dropped.
Thank you very much.
He's been our best player this season. No way would I have dropped Mount at all. Never in a million years. Let us know why you want him to be dropped. Football talk coming in with a lineup. Mendy, Rudiger, Christensen, Aspi, Alonso. Brave man. James, Kante, Kovacic, Mount, Werner, Giroud. So the same as me, just Alonso instead of Chilwell. And Mount and Werner to score for the football talk. I think it's going to be... Well, obviously, I'm going to back the boys. We're going to win 2-1 with Giroud and Mount scoring. Yusuf, what do you think the score is going to be?
I said 1-0 to us because I think it'll be a tight game, but Liverpool might score. But obviously, I need to back Chelsea, so a 1-0 win. And plus, we can't score like flipping like more than 2 goals anyway, so 1-0.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Luke, what do you think the score is going to be? And who's going to score?
We're going to win 10-0. No, we're going 3-1 Liverpool. I think we're going to be comfortable. Yeah, listen, Adriano own goal, mate. I think we're still going to get the results tomorrow. I've got to be confident. Of course we have. Yeah, I'm going to sit with a 3-1 Liverpool. I think we're going to be very good on the night. So, yeah.
Who's going to score?
All right, Mo Salah. I mean, he's going to get a couple tomorrow. And I reckon the last one maybe from our man at the moment, Curtis Jones.
That is exactly what I would say.
I want, if you guys are going to win, could Robertson at least get something? Because he's in my fantasy team. If you guys are going to win, but that's the only reason. Rick?
If we keep a clean sheet, Rick, if we keep a clean sheet, does that mean Trent can't defend?
Well, you're going to have to ask the comments about that one. That's what you're going to have to do. Rick, what do you think for the score?
No, it'd be same as Luke, 3-1, I reckon. I'm going to go with Salah will get 2. It'd be Salah get 2. And I'm going to go Jota when he comes off the bench.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yusuf, did you say who was going to score?
I think I made a penalty because we're not scoring any goals from open play, so probably penalty. So maybe Jorginho then. Oh no, yeah, if he plays then Jorginho. If he doesn't, then Werner because Werner's on I think after Jorginho, he's on penalty duty. I think so. Werner will score.
Yeah, sweet. Just a few here. Mount has no final third. He gets into a good position but can't shoot. I'm not even going to answer that one. Salah to score for Liverpool from the football talk, but it could go either way. And got the same view as Yusuf here. Giroud isn't consistent. He's 34. He can only do it sometimes. Me and Luke mentioned it before. Players like Thiago Silva, James Milner, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is nearly 40 years of age. He might already be 40 years of age. I don't know. And he's still playing week in, week out for AC Milan. He isn't at the moment. I think he's injured. But this season, he's been playing week in, week out for AC Milan. Still scoring goals, still getting assists. So why can't Giroud do it? Like, Giroud's in like amazing physical condition. I don't understand. Race going 1-1. Who do you think is going to score? That would be good to hear. Maybe play Callum Hudson-Odoi at left wing back to bully Trent, taking him 1-on-1. Callum Hudson-Odoi is injured. He won't play. If he does play, then I don't know. Luke, you look like you want to say something there.
I don't know what he's playing, mate. I don't know what he's literally. No way is that.
He's not even playing. He's injured.
Hudson, even if he was playing, I wouldn't be worried about him. I'm sorry, like I know he's a good young player. Don't get me wrong. You know he's obviously done well for Chelsea this season, but if you're getting taken off in the second half of a game when you've been brought off at half time, you know you have to worry about your attitude first before you think of taking on one of the best attacking fullbacks in Europe. So I'm sorry, I can't ever see that happening.
Football Talk saying trust in Giroud. That's what I like to hear. Yusuf and CFC in the comments they're not having it. Got to trust in Giroud, like we trusted in Thiago Silva. So before we go, Luke and Ricky, if you'd like to give your channel a big plug, I know recently you've hit the 100 subscriber mark, which is phenomenal. We're climbing the ladder slowly but surely. I'm sure we'll be there. Hopefully by this time next season. I think we will be there by this time next season. But yeah, give yourself a hard plug.
Yeah, thanks Jules and Yusuf for letting myself and Ricky come onto the show. Obviously we're looking forward to the game tomorrow. Our channel is the 1892Reds Podcast. Of course, we are a Liverpool-based channel, but of course, all fans are welcome from Chelsea to, you know, we've got RB Leipzig fans in the channel. We've got loads of different content about, you know, all around Liverpool, but of course around the Premier League as well. So please subscribe to our channel. We have just reached just over 100. We are pushing for hopefully maybe 150 now before the end of the season. So please, even if you're not a Liverpool fan, please subscribe to the channel.
Indeed. Like you said, even if you're not a Liverpool fan, go over. They do great content, talk good football knowledge, both of them, and always in the comments. Me and Yusuf are always there, bantering and giving some good football knowledge as well. Like, we're all football fans. We all talk about the same stuff. Maybe we're not, maybe agree with everything, but you know what? At the end of the day, and look at that, Football Talk has subscribed. So there we go.
Thank you very much.
There, thank you once again, Luke and Ricky, for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Yusuf, again, thank you for co-hosting, and I'll let you do the outro.
Thank you. Obviously, thanks everyone for watching and listening. We're going to be back for the review. The review on Friday. So I'm tuned for that. So, and see you tomorrow. See you on Friday.
See you later.